There's a reason some people seem to age faster than others. More belly fat, more brain fog, more aches and pains, more inflammation, and of course less energy. And most people think, hey, that's just a part of getting older. I'm here to tell you that it is not. Every single day, inflammation, blood sugar spikes, and oxidative stress are quietly destroying your cells and the DNA within your cells. And if that damage accumulates faster than your body could repair it, you age faster. But there's the good news. Your body has built-in repair systems that are designed to work around the clock 24/7 for you. This is called the innate intelligence. It's the inner physician within every single cell. The problem is that most people are starving that system. They're blocking that system every single day without even realizing it. So today I'm going to show you 9 foods that human studies have shown to lower inflammation, protect your DNA, and create stronger cellular repair. One of these foods on this list reduced a major DNA damage marker by 31%. Another food on this list actually helped the DNA repair itself. And every food on this list, eating consistently, will change how you feel and how your body repairs faster than you might think. But first, real quick, let's talk about what aging actually is. Most people think aging is just a matter of getting older. Birthdays, the number of candles on your birthday cake, but that's not really it. Most of what we call aging is actually accumulated damage. Damage to your cells, damage to your DNA, damage that piles up faster than your body could repair it. And there are a few villains out there that really drive this damage. The first is the obvious one, inflammation. And I'm not talking about acute inflammation, which is like a sprained ankle or a sore shoulder from a workout. I'm referring to chronic low-grade inflammation. This is the boogeyman. This type of inflammation quietly runs underneath your body for years without you realizing it until symptoms show up. The second here is oxidative stress. Think of this as rust, cellular rust. Your cells produce unstable molecules called free radicals. And if you don't have enough antioxidants to neutralize them, they start corroding everything, including your DNA. Then you've got blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance, which pour gasoline on both of these fires. Here's the simple way to hold this in your head. The faster damage accumulates, the faster you age, the better your repair systems work, the slower you age, and the younger you look, and the younger you feel. That's the whole game. And one of the single biggest levers you have is sitting on your plate. Most people think your DNA is fixed, locked in. Those were the cards you were dealt with. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, that's actually not how it works. Your DNA is under attack and under repair constantly. Damage happens every second. Repair happens every second. It's a running battle that never stops. So the real question was never, does damage ever happen? Of course it does. The real question is how well and how fast does your body repair that damage? And here's the part that got me into this whole world of research and why I'm recording this lesson for you today. One of the biggest factors influencing your repair speed is food. Not a drug, not a fancy supplement you never heard of, food. The stuff already sitting in your grocery store. Now, let me prove it to you day by day. Before we start the 12 days, do a quick gut check with me. And I want you to be honest. Do you deal with brain fog where your thinking just feels slow? Are you dealing with joint aches that were not there years ago? Do you have low energy, especially in the afternoon with that afternoon crash? Do you have stubborn belly fat? Do you feel like your recovery after your workouts are taking longer than it used to? If you said yes to even one of those, here's what it might mean. It's not that you're broken. It's that your repair systems are asking for more support than they're currently getting. So give it to them. Starting right now, starting with day 1, here's what surprises people about day 1. The first thing that changes isn't your weight. It's not the number on the scale. It's your internal chemistry. Specifically, inflammation and oxidative stress start shifting within hours of the right food shitting your system. You won't see it right away, but your cells will feel it immediately. So let's load up on these first 3 foods. Food number 1 is green tea. We're starting with the drink that researchers were actually shocked by. Green tea is loaded with a polyphenol called EGCG. And there's a human study that really made me a believer here. Researchers took 143 heavy smokers, people whose DNA was under constant assault, and they randomly assigned them a drink, 80 caffeinated green tea or a black tea or water for 4 months. They measured a marker in their urine called 8DG. That's basically a fingerprint of DNA damage. The more of it that you have, the more that your DNA is getting shredded. After 4 months, the green tea's group DNA damage marker dropped by 31%. The black tea group, no change. The water group, no change. Just the green tea group. And a third of their measurable DNA damage was gone. Let that sink in, because these were heavy smokers. And just by having a daily cup of green tea, they moved a real measurable marker of DNA damage by almost a third. That's the kind of fact you want to text to somebody right now and blow their mind. So, day one, green tea goes in. It's the easiest possible place to start. Food number 2 is blueberries. And the reason blueberries are blue is the same reason that they're so powerful. The deep blue, purple color comes from compounds called anthocyanins. These are antioxidants, and they go to work on both inflammation and DNA repair. In one randomized human trial, postmenopausal women with elevated blood pressure ate the equivalent of blueberries every day. After just 4 weeks, the same DNA damage marker, the 8-HDG, was significantly lower in the blueberry group compared to the placebo group. That's just in 4 weeks. Measurable drop in their DNA damage from a fruit you could buy fresh or frozen for just a few dollars. In other studies, regular blueberry intake lowered markers of inflammation and oxidative stress, and it did it in people with metabolic syndrome. So on day one, blueberries are doing 2 jobs at once: calming inflammation and shielding your DNA. Food number 3 is a favorite of mine, and it's extra virgin olive oil. This is one of the most studied longevity foods on the planet. This is the fat at the center of the Mediterranean diet, the eating pattern tied to some of the longest, healthiest lifespans that we've ever recorded. And the magic isn't just the fat, it's the polyphenols. Here's the one study that I really love. Researchers gave women a high polyphenol olive oil versus a low polyphenol olive oil. Same oil, same calories. The only difference was the polyphenol content. The high polyphenol group showed a reduction in oxidative DNA damage in their blood cells. Same fat, just more polyphenols, and that equaled less DNA damage. That tells you it's the compounds doing the work, not just the fat or the oil. And this is why I'm so picky about my olive oil. And you know what? You should be too, because here's what most people don't realize. The study I just mentioned wasn't really about olive oil. It was about the polyphenols in the olive oil. Those are the compounds that researchers believe are doing most of the heavy lifting when it comes to supporting healthy aging, lowering oxidative stress, and protecting your cells. The problem is that most of the olive oil at the grocery store is already old by the time it reaches your kitchen, which means many of those beneficial compounds have already started breaking down. So, if you're buying olive oil because you've heard that it's healthy, you may not be getting what you're paying for. That's why I stopped guessing. Personally, I've been using the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club for many years. The reason why is because it is early harvest. It's cold pressed, it's extra virgin, it's in a dark glass bottle, it's single origin, and it's shipped fresh from a small farm around the world. In other words, it actually contains the compounds that made olive oil famous in the first place. So, here's a simple test for you. How do you know if your olive oil is high on these beneficial compounds or not? Well, simply do the taste test. Grab your olive oil right now, put an 8-tablespoon of it into a spoon, or take a shot of it and see what happens. Now, if it goes down completely flat and smooth and there's nothing really noticeable, there's a good chance it's missing those high-quality polyphenols that you want. You see, good fresh pressed olive oil has a peppery bite at the back of your throat. It should make your tongue a little fuzzy, your throat burn, and even make you cough. So for me, I personally use my fresh pressed olive oil every single day. I put it on my salads, my vegetables, even my eggs and protein. And sometimes I'll put a tablespoon in my cup of coffee or in that green tea we mentioned earlier. It's one of the easiest healthy aging upgrades that I've made over the years. And right now, the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club is giving my community an exclusive offer. When you order 2 bottles of their olive oil, you get a 3rd bottle completely free. So, if you want this special deal, just simply click the first link in the description box below, or if you're watching on YouTube, scan the QR code on your screen. Because it's so fresh and high quality, batches are limited, they do run out, so make sure you get it before that happens. And if you don't love it, they offer a money-back guarantee. So, that's day 1. Green tea, blueberries, and extra virgin olive oil. 3 foods, and your repair systems already have more to work with than you did in the morning. Now we jump to day 3. And this is usually when people start really feeling something: more stable energy, fewer cravings, less of that afternoon crash. Your focus feels a little sharper. None of it is dramatic yet, but you notice the edges getting a little smoother. Let's add 2 foods that work below the surface. Food number 4 is avocado. Every single cell in your body is wrapped by a lipid bilayer called the cell membrane, which is largely made of fat. The quality of that fat determines how well the cell functions. That is because the cell membrane communicates to the DNA. It tells it to turn on genes and turn off genes. So when you have healthy fats building that membrane, you get a positive response. When you have unhealthy fats building that cell membrane, you get a negative result. Avocados deliver monounsaturated fats and compounds that support healthy, flexible cell membranes. Plus, they blunt your blood sugar spike when you consume them with your meals. Healthy membranes steady your blood sugar control and less cellular stress. That's why avocado earned its spot on this list. Avocados are also high in phytosterols, which help with inflammation, B vitamins that help with adrenal gland support and overall stress. Food number 5 is wild-caught salmon. This is one of nature's richest source of omega-3 fats, EPA and DHA. Omega-3 fats are some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that you can eat. Your body actually uses them to build molecules that switch off inflammation, the way that you turn off a light switch. They also feed your brain, which is roughly about 60% fat. Now, you might be thinking, but Ben, I take fish oil supplementation. That is not the same thing. I'm actually not a fan of fish oil supplementation. Those do a lot more harm than it does good. But eating the salmon, that's a different story. So by day 3, you've got avocado supporting your cell membrane from one angle, and salmon delivering high-quality omega-3 fats that your body literally uses to solve inflammation within the cell. This results in better recovery. Joints feel better, and that internal fire starts cooling down. Day 5. This is where it gets fascinating because now we move from calming inflammation to actively defending and repairing your DNA. Remember that little battle that I described earlier on, the damage versus the repair? On day 5, we hand your repair crew a serious upgrade. Food number 6 is kiwi. This is a food that gets completely overlooked. The kiwi, little fuzzy brown fruit with a bright green on the inside. Here's why it earns its place on my list. In human trials, researchers had people eat kiwi and they measured their DNA using something called the COMET assay, which literally shows you how damaged a cell's DNA is. Two things happened. One, the kiwi reduced oxidative damage to the DNA. But Tiwu, and this is the wild part, kiwi actually stimulated the DNA repair machinery itself. It didn't just protect the DNA, it helped the cell fix the DNA that was already damaged. Researchers described it as a dual protection, fewer hits and faster repair of the hits that have landed. Think about what that means. A fruit that you can eat in about 20 seconds was shown to help your cells repair their own genetic material. That's about as close as food being medicine as it gets. And it's measured in actual human studies, not just a Petri dish. So day 5, kiwi goes in and your repair systems just got some valuable reinforcements. Okay, day 7, 1 weekend in, and this is the day that we add what might be the single most impressive food on this entire list. That's going to be food number 7, broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts, not the full broccoli snorts, the little 3 to 4 day old sprouts. And here is why that matters. Broccoli sprouts contain dramatically more of a compound called sulforaphane, and it contains a lot more than mature broccoli. So fluorophane is special because it doesn't just neutralize a few free radicals, it flips on a master switch in your cells called NRF2. Think of NRF2 as the foreman of your entire antioxidant and detox crew. When sulforaphane activates it, your cells start producing its own protective and detoxifying enzymes. And that protection keeps working for hours. You're not just adding antioxidants, you're teaching your body to make its own. And there's a human study on this that should be plastered all over billboards on your highway. In a region of China with aviary high exposure to a DNA-damaging toxin called aflatoxin, researchers gave people a broccoli sprout drink in a randomized trial. The people drinking it showed a measurable drop in the toxic compounds binding to and damaging the DNA. What happened was that their bodies were clearing a DNA-damaging poison faster from the broccoli sprouts. And I want you to notice something right here in week 1. None of these foods are exotic. None of them require a special diet that you'll probably quit within a month. None of them cost hundreds of dollars. Green tea, blueberry, olive oil, avocado, salmon, kiwi, broccoli sprouts. Most of this is sitting in your grocery store about 10 minutes from where you are right now. The difference between people who age well and people who don't isn't the access to these foods, it's the understanding. And you're getting the understanding right now. Okay, day 10. By now, things you actually feel start showing up. less bloating, better digestion, smoother recovery, more stable energy throughout the entire day instead of that roller coaster of energy you used to have. And the inflammation that was simmering in the background is noticeably quieter. So here we add food number 8, pomegranate. Pomegranates are one of the most antioxidant-rich fruits that you could find. Pomegranates are packed with polyphenols, and your gut bacteria do something very clever with them. They convert these polyphenols into compounds that support your cell's ability to clean out their own damaged and worn-out parts. It's like upgrading your body's recycling system. Old, broken, damaged cellular components get cleared and fresher, healthier ones take its place. So by day 10, you've got pomegranate reinforcing your body's natural defense and cleanup system on top of everything else. Now, by this point in the 12 days, something becomes very clear, and it's the thing that most people miss completely. Your body cannot repair itself out of just thin air. Every single repair process, fixing DNA, rebuilding tissue, recovering from a workout, even building new healthy cells, it all depends on raw materials. And the number one raw material to give it is protein, amino acids. And here's the problem that I see, especially in adults over 40. People are simply not getting enough protein, particularly in the middle of the day. They run on coffee, they grab some carbs at lunch, and they wonder why their recovery is slow and their body feels like it's falling apart faster than it is rebuilding itself. You can do everything else right, but if your body doesn't have the proper building blocks, repair stalls. And this is exactly why I use and recommend to my students a high-quality protein shake like Superfoods Prime Protein. Because let's be honest, most people know they should eat more protein. The challenge isn't knowing, it's actually doing it consistently. That's why I keep Equip in my kitchen. Now, it's always best to get your protein from whole food sources, and I recommend that and do that myself. But what if you can fill in the gaps and make a high-quality protein shake and get those benefits in a short amount of time? That's the value of a high-quality protein shake. So for me, 1 scoop of Equip protein gives me about 20 grams of high-quality protein in about 30 seconds. No cooking, no meal prep, no drive-through. And what I love about this protein powder specifically is that it only has 4 ingredients: grass-fed and grass-finished beef protein isolate, cocoa, a natural sweetener, and sea salt. That's it. You look at other protein powders on the market, they are going to have other things out there like seed oils, gums, fillers, artificial sweeteners, maybe even whey and soy. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of real ingredients in my protein shake. Now, as I said, I want to be clear. Whole foods should be your first choice. Eggs, fish, beef, lamb, those are incredible, and that should be the base of all your meals. But when life gets busy, this is the snort's easiest way that I found to make sure that I'm still giving my body the building blocks that it needs. So anyways, if you want to get the Equip Prime Protein, they're giving my community, only you guys here, an exclusive 20% off. Just click the second link in the description box below or scan the QR code on the screen to get this exclusive deal. When you go to that link, it's going to take you to this page. You'll see their Prime Protein. They have different flavors: chocolate, cookies, and cream unflavored. My favorite, actually, what I have here on my desk is the cookies and cream. You would just either subscribe or try once. I'm going to put try once, add to cart. The coupon code is automatically applied. And what I would recommend is to add collagen as well. You can see down here when you scroll down, they have their grass-fed collagen. I love their vanilla, and I put that in my coffee. The reason why I recommend adding that to the cart, and you do get the discount applied to that as well, is because protein helps build the muscle. Collagen helps support your joints, tendons, connective tissue, and recovery. So I personally use both. Protein helps support the repair. Collagen helps to support how you move and how you feel. Together, they're one of my favorite anti-aging combinations. So click the second link in the description box below or scan the QR code and grab this exclusive discount while it's available. All of this costs less than a cup of coffee per day to restore the exact signals that your body is missing. Now, day 12, the finish line. Here's what a lot of people report by now: more stable energy from morning to night, less inflammation, better digestion, faster recovery, fewer cravings, the brain fog lifting, just a cleaner, lighter feeling, like the little engine is running the way that it's supposed to. Now, let me be completely clear with you right now. Your DNA did not magically become flawless by 12 days here. That's not how biology works. And anyone who promises that to you is just downright lying to you. But here is what is true. Over these 12 days, days, you've given your repair systems more of what it needs than probably what you've given it in the last few years. Less inflammation to fight, more antioxidants for defense, real support for DNA protection and repair, and the raw materials to build. That is what healthy aging actually looks like. Not a magic pill, but a body that repairs faster than it breaks down. Which brings me to food number 9. This is Mother Nature's multivitamin, eggs, but eggs with the yolk. Eggs give you a near perfect protein with all the amino acids your body needs to rebuild and repair. Plus, they're rich in choline, a nutrient critical for your brain, your cell membranes, and your liver. So you get complete protein for rebuilding choline for your brain and cells and liver. It's a repair food in a shell, and it's been unfairly demonized for decades. So let me make this dead simple for you, because I actually want you to do this, not just watch this or listen to this and, yeah, that sounds about right, Ben, but not actually take action. Here's how all 9 foods fit into one normal day. In the morning, start off with green tea. You could have it instead or alongside your coffee. Then, your first meal of the day, your breakfast, which is breaking your fast, you want to consume eggs for a complete protein breakfast. And then after your eggs that's cooked in a healthy fat like butter or ghee or even coconut oil, have a handful of blueberries right after by midday. Have your high quality protein shake. Maybe it's the Equip Prime protein. Have that with unsweetened macadamia nut milk, unsweetened coconut milk, or just water and ice. And what I would recommend inside of that protein shake, throw in half a kiwi or an entire kiwi with the skin on and maybe half an avocado. Or if you choose to have a salad, you could add some wild salmon on top of the salad with some slices of your kiwi and half an avocado to that salad. You could also drizzle a whole bunch of that extra virgin olive oil on top of the salad. For dinner, have wild salmon as your protein base, have broccoli sprouts as a side, and drizzle some more of that high quality extra virgin olive oil. And then what I would recommend, you could add in some pomegranate seeds on top of that, or just have a handful of pomegranate seeds as your dessert. That's it. 9 foods, 1 ordinary day, no exotic ingredients, no suffering, no starving, no having totally on willpower or count every single calorie going into your mouth. All of this gives your body the repair systems that it's been asking for. And look, your job isn't to be perfect. Your job is to simply make progress. Give your body the fuel and the raw materials that it needs to repair itself. And when you do that using the foods I've outlined today, you will notice a significant difference. And if you want to take what you learned today to the next level, I have a 45-day game plan in my upcoming brand new book, KetoLex Revised. This book will give you an entire grocery shopping list of my favorite foods that lower inflammation, burn fat, and the foods that do the complete opposite. So I tell you, eat these foods. Don't eat these foods. There's also recipes at the end of the book, but most importantly, I teach you how to do something called keto flexing, which is one of the best things you can do for your metabolism. And I outline how to do this if you're a man versus a woman, and how to do this if you're a woman who's postmenopausal versus a woman with a menstrual cycle. If you follow this game plan, after 45 days, you could lose up to 20 to 30 kilos in those 45 days. And if you pre-order the book today, we're giving away some exclusive free bonuses that are sent right to your email as soon as you pre-order the book. You'll get a PDF guide which shows you some action steps to get started with right away. You'll get a download MP3 from the actual audiobook recording of KetoLex and some other goodies. So all you need to do is head over to ketolexbook.com, click the 3rd link in the description box below, or scan the QR code on the screen to take advantage of those free bonuses. And if what you learned today changed your thinking about aging, inflammation, and DNA repair, do me a favor, share this lesson with somebody you know, somebody you love, somebody you believe that this could make a huge difference for. Because most people have no idea that they could make these changes and improve their powerful repair systems that God put within every single one of your cells. You just learn how to be on your body's side. Now go give your body's repair crew something to work with. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one. And if you enjoyed this lesson, there's this natural ompic alternative that costs about $2 a day that actually helps you burn fat like Ozempic without any of the side effects and at a fraction of the cost. I just released a video outlining what this is. This is going to blow your mind. Here's a clip from that lesson. Then click the video coming up on the screen in just a few seconds, and I'll see you in that next video. I kept thinking, there's no way something this simple does what these studies are claiming. And then Umber stopped me cold. Music. It cuts cravings. It keeps you full for hours longer than carbs and fat. It stabilizes your blood sugar between meals. It protects the one thing that determines whether your metabolism works in your 40s, 50s, and